And welcome back to Stories from the River. The topic today is performance groups. You could say another word for that is iron sharpens iron.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
So, performance groups, what are we talking about? This is where you get like-minded companies, not competitive, in the same industry, from different regions of the country, for instance, maybe adjacent, but maybe in different, crossing over some states where there's no competitive like geography. And you get together and you share best practices, financials, you try to put your financial statements together, and then you look for opportunities within your own financial statements or others. You do tours of your stores, of your distribution centers, and then you look at your corporate offices, and then you look for opportunities to just kind of get better. So we were in a performance group, and the reason I wanted to talk about this topic is because of how transformative it was to us during the years that we were in a performance group. And so we were in a performance group with the Dufresne Group, Mark Dufresne and his company, and then the Spencer Group, Chad and Jim Spencer and their company, and then Hill Country Holdings, Gary and Sean Seals and that company out of Texas. And then there was Howard Feynman and his company out of Jacksonville, Florida. And then there was Will Schaefer out of New Jersey and his group. And then Ben Thorud when he still operated home stores in Washington State and Montana. So we started this in, I want to say, the end of 2008, maybe 2009, which was a great time to kind of get together and share best practices and kind of understand, what is sales per guest? That's where we learned about sales per guest. And we really got stronger financial acumen, retail acumen, and really got chiseled, I would say, as a retail company. This is where we learned about customer beliefs and started to learn about mission, vision, core values. Even we would go on not only trips to each other's organization, but we would do like World Business Forum in New York City, which we're still doing as a company now. So very transformative. And you typically what happens in a performance group, you become friends. Friends can talk truth to each other. They can hold each other accountable. Hey, why are you not getting this done? Or, hey, is that the best you can do? You can do a little bit better. And so there's some competitiveness. You want to always have great best practices, great financial results, great KPIs. And so it really is that iron sharpens iron mentality, but it's also to like go and see and learn what you may not know, what you may not realize. And we would get different departments together. We'd get our retail department together. We'd get our operations department together. This is when, Gary Seals and Sean Seals would challenge us to say, who's waking up thinking about sales in your organization every single day? Like you got to have a sales leader and a sales driver. And they were right. Or when Chad Spencer would challenge us and say, do you have a customer belief system? No, we don't. Okay, you're right. We need one. And so it really formed a lot of our ideas. This preceded the A Hope to Dream program at Ashley because the Spencers were doing One Parent, One Dream, which was the genesis of A Hope to Dream. And that's when we formed our partnership with Beds for Kids and now with A Hope to Dream and how we're stewarding, being intentional with giving back through our mattress purchases and other things that we do. So you learn a lot of best practices. You're kind of an open book with each other. There's confidentiality, there's governance about accepting members, about trust and integrity. And then you're really just there to help each other. And so how many times do you meet? 2 or 3 times a year, 4, maybe up to 4 if you do it every quarter, but at least 2. And then you'll go and spend a couple of days. Maybe you bolt it on to market like Vegas market, or maybe you go during a non-market time period to someone's corporate offices, and you're going to visit their store, their office, go through your KPIs. You got to turn in your financials in advance. And then you come back with these financial statement comparisons and KPI comparisons. So it's a lot about getting aligned on definitions. Okay, well, how do you measure traffic? How do you measure traffic? Or how do you measure average ticket? How do you measure mattress percentage of sales? And how are you excelling at this? And then in between those meetings, you get to kind of like call and email and ask questions, or how do you solve this? So you really develop relationships that can help you discover your blind spots, work on your blind spots. It's a go-to kind of board of advisors, if you will, to how to improve your business. And there's some accountability, and then there's some competitiveness because, everyone wants to kind of perform the best. And then as you're looking at parts of your business that are weak, oh, wait, we should be able to do this part of EBITDA. Okay, we got to go reduce this or increase here. And so it really gives you, shines a spotlight on the areas of the business specifically driven from the KPIs that are the lead measures to the financial statements that are the lag measures to really go improve your business. So that organization, that performance group really served us well for 5 or 6 years through like 2014 or 2015, and was transformative to us for some of the foundational beliefs that we accrued and gained over time. And then, we've had another performance group. There are other performance groups in our industry, and we've had others come to visit us. The Gladiator Performance Group is one of 8 to 10 organizations, great companies. We've been with them for a couple of their meetings, and we got to go to Bob Young's company and his organization in Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia, when he was hosting the Gladiators, and they came to Charlotte to visit us at one point. And there's like 10 of them around the country, and they get along great. They do very much the same things that we did, and they share best practices and financial statements. And then with best practices, you're always learning. When you go to visit other stores, you're always learning, seeing something new. Oh, that's how you merchandise this. Oh, that's how you display that. Oh, where are you buying this from? Oh, this is how you're pricing that. So you're learning different things. You're learning things about people's commission structures and bonus programs and recruiting programs. And then it's just a go-to, like, hey, if you want to know something, we'll go to see how our performance group does it. Well, what if so-and-so does it? Oh, anything that comes into the business, you've got a sounding board. Like, that's where you go. And so it's very much comforting to say, like, hey, if we're doing well, are we doing as well as our performance group members? Or if we're not doing well, hey, are they also struggling? And so it's an accountability measure. It's a truth teller. It's iron sharpens iron. And so if you haven't done a season or several years in a performance group, I would encourage you to consider one. We're not currently in one, but we really took all those learnings and applied it. And we're an open book. Now we're a little bit more strategic. As we might say, hey, so-and-so is the best at this on distribution or operations or sales. And so then we're going to go visit those groups. And that's the good thing about being in the Ashley Network. We're always playing best ball golf or standing on the shoulders of giants and going and seeing what others are doing. And not just within our own network, but we as at Broad River, we take that mentality across other industries, other geographies. Like I said, we have attended the Purpose Summit. We've done the World of Business Ideas, WOBE classes, master classes. We're looking into leadership development right now with Franklin Covey. We're going to World Business Forum in New York City. We'll do a series on recapping that event and other ways that we can kind of always go sharpen the saw, so to speak, and how we get better. Definitely would encourage you to consider and embrace performance groups if you're not already doing that. Okay. That's this little episode from how we got here from Stories from the River on performance groups and iron sharpens iron. Thanks so much for dialing in wherever you get your fresh content, whether it's YouTube, that's why we got the videos here, or Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google. Thank you, and come back next week or next time for fresh new content from the river.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. Join us again next week. And remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.